Okay, let's talk about a small change that can make a huge difference in the classroom. We're going to dive into how asking questions a little differently can get your students to go from just repeating information to really, truly thinking for themselves.
You know the feeling, right? You ask a question in class, a hand shoots up, and they give you the perfect answer from the textbook. But you get this feeling that it's just memory, not real understanding. It's a super common challenge, but the way to get past it is actually pretty straightforward.
And here it is. The secret is all about elaboration. It's about asking questions that force students to do more than just recall a fact. We need them to explain it, to connect it to other things they know, to build on it. That is the bridge that takes them from just knowing something to genuinely understanding it.
So here's what we've got on tap. First, we'll quickly cover why this is so important. Then we're going to open up the toolkit and look at 3 powerful tools: inferential questions, something called elaborative interrogation, and questioning sequences. And finally, we'll talk about how you can start using these and really make them your own.
All right, first up, the why. So why all this fuss about getting past rote memorization? Well, because real learning isn't just about stacking up facts like bricks, it's about being the architect who knows how to put those bricks together to build something meaningful.
So when we say elaboration, what are we really talking about? It's pretty simple, actually. It's asking questions that nudge students to make their own connections, to figure things out that weren't explicitly spelled out for them. And listen, this isn't just some nice-to-have teaching philosophy. The research is solid on this. This specific type of questioning leads to real, measurable gains in student achievement.
Let's grab our first tool from the kit, inferential questions. I like to call these the foundation builders because they lay the groundwork for all the deeper thinking that comes later.
Now, check out the difference here. A default question is like asking, "What do you remember?" It's a memory test. But a question that prompts a reasoned inference is different. It's like we're handing the student a few puzzle pieces, some clear information, and asking them to figure out how they fit together to create a new picture. It's a shift from just recalling information to actively using it.
And here's the simple 3-step recipe. First, you give them a premise, a piece of information. Second, you ask them to draw a conclusion from it. But here's the most important part, step 3. You have to prompt them for their reasoning. Don't just let them get away with the what. The magic is in the how. How did you arrive at that conclusion?
Okay, tool number 2 is called elaborative interrogation, and it's our deep dive tool. Now, the name sounds intense, but it's not about putting students on the spot. It's actually a really elegant way to get them to examine their own answers and justify their thinking.
It all starts with this incredibly simple but powerful question. A student gives you an answer, a conclusion they've drawn. Your immediate follow-up is, why do you believe that to be true? You can literally see the gears turn. It makes them stop, think, and start digging for the evidence to back up what they just said.
So once they've given you their evidence, you push them a step further. You ask them to generalize their logic. This if-then question is brilliant because it helps them take their one specific example and turn it into a broader rule or principle. That's a massive cognitive leap, moving from the concrete to the abstract.
And then you bring it all home with this last question. After they've gone through the process of defending their idea with evidence and turning it into a general rule, you ask them to reflect. Do you see things differently now? This is where the learning really sticks. It's where they get to consolidate that brand new, much deeper understanding.
Our third and final tool is the most structured one in the kit. Think of questioning sequences as a kind of guided path. It's a framework that methodically walks a student from knowing basic facts all the way to building a sophisticated, evidence-based argument.
And look at how beautifully this flows. You start with the detail phase because you can't argue about something if you don't know the basic facts. Then you move to the category phase, getting them to sort those facts and see patterns. From there, you're ready for the elaboration phase, where they can start explaining why things happen and what might happen next. And only after all of that are they really prepared for the final evidence phase, where they defend their ideas. It's a complete cognitive workout from start to finish. So now you've got 3 new tools for your toolkit. The big question is, what now? How do you actually start using these in a way that feels natural and effective? Let's talk about what that journey to mastery looks like.
I think this scale is a really helpful way to check in with yourself. Just take a second and think about where you are right now. Are you at level 0, not really using these? Or maybe you're beginning to try them out. The real sweet spot, the goal, is to be consistently working at level 3, applying, and beyond. And what does that actually look like? Well, at the applying level, you're not just asking these questions, you're also actively watching to see how they're impacting your students' thinking. Then, when you reach innovating, you're a pro. You're adapting these tools on the fly, maybe noticing a student is struggling and deciding right then and there to walk them through that 4-phase sequence to help them build a stronger argument.
So here's the bottom line. These aren't just abstract theories. They are practical, ready-to-use tools. You don't have to overhaul your entire teaching style overnight. You could literally just start tomorrow by asking one student, "Why do you believe that to be true?" and see what happens. So my question for you is, which tool will you add to your toolkit tomorrow?